Hello, this is Niev with the Rainbow Cauldron, and this is a client reading for N, and she basically just wants a rundown of the energies that will be surrounding her in the months of the rest of the year. And so what I decided to do for this was um, to use three decks of cards, three decks, and while alternating the decks, pulling three cards for each month from February to December. And the reason I decided to use three different decks instead of just one deck, or even just two, was that I felt that it would be rare that one person would go through nearly all 78 cards, what each thing represented and each what each card represents, that it would be unlikely that someone would go through all of those. So I decided to use three decks to allow for the chance of repeat cards, because that would be more it would make more sense for a person to go through some of the same energies than for one person to go through almost 78 different energies. That's that's what we're going to do. And the three decks I'm going to use are the Book of Shadows So Below deck, um, the Crystal Visions deck, and the Anna Kay deck. And I also have, I'm going to move this camera up a little bit so you can see this. Okay, just so you can see, I have an orange candle burning. It's about a fourth of the way through, and I have rosemary from my garden around the orange candle. The orange is for success, um, and the rosemary is kind of an all-purpose herb, and excuse me. Um, I went with rosemary, an all-purpose herb, because this is a very general reading with not a specific intent. So something that was all-purpose and really just for bringing positivity made sense. So it's the orange candle with rosemary around it. Over here is the incense, and it's Ganesha incense, and Ganesha is the remover of obstacles. So the incense is really lending an energy to this to remove obstacles and to help you have a smooth path to follow. Um, and then over here in the back, I have my Lakshmi, and the Lakshmi is to bring prosperity energy to you. And uh, on top of this selenite, this is selenite. Selenite is used to enhance energies. So the selenite is enhancing the energies of these stones. And over here I have a tiger's eye, which is, I'll bring it up close to here. Look at how pretty that is. The tiger's eye is to help bring clarity uh, and good luck to you. And the citrine here, beautiful. This is raw too. The best kind citrine. Raw stones are the best to have. It's really got that raw energy to it. And the citrine is for protection. So I put this here for protection for you. The snowflake obsidian here is to remove negativity. And then, and finally, I have a carnelian here for success and good health. Okay, so let me move this back down. Okay, and I'm going to move the camera over just a little bit to show the three decks over here. This is the So Below deck, This is Crystal Visions, and this is the Anna Kay deck. Okay, let me situate this back where it was. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to start with January with the So Below deck. And here, let me get the cards here. Excuse me, I got a little bit of a cough. All right, so we have the Sun, and I'm going to center these. The Nine of Wands, and the Four of Swords. And one thing I noticed about this is just how warm these colors are, which, you know, in January or February, excuse me, we're starting in February. In February, well, at least here it's cold. You actually live in a different part of the world, so it might actually be warm where you're at. But I really just noticed the warm colors right off the bat, and it's starting off with the Sun, and the Sun is having a lot to do with like family reunions or gatherings with friends and loved ones. Um, they've got so much food at the table here, and everyone seems to be happy and joyful and enjoying each other's company. And I think this is representing a lot of family time or spending time with people you care about, um, friends or family. And the Nine of Wands is talking about preparation mostly. And it's preparing for challenges ahead. And she's lighting her candle. She's getting her ritual set up. Um, and it's it's something she's preparing for, and she knows that there's some challenges ahead, but um, she's she's patiently waiting for it and preparing. And I think that's a lot of what I'm getting here is just a lot of preparation for possible challenges to come. And we end this with just a very kind of lazy card. The Four of Swords, it has a lot to do with rest and a little bit of boredom. So I kind of interpret this as not a whole lot going on, um, especially near the end of February here. Not really a lot of energy, just a lot of rest and maybe even boredom. Maybe family has left. I don't know if family's visiting you or something. But it starts out with a lot of energy and kind of ends with some restful energy. And that's what we get here. And also, I wanted to say before I go to the next one that these months, some of them will be pretty specific, and maybe they'll indicate very specific things. And some of them will be very broad and just general energies. And um, and that's to be expected, especially with a big reading like this. That you know, each month it's not going to be super specific, and that's okay. All right, so that was February, and with March, we're going to use the Crystal Visions deck for this. We get the Six of Pentacles. It's a pretty card. The Six of Wands, another six, huh? And the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, and we had a 9 last month too in the Wands. Um, Okay, so basically, a lot of the energies that we get from here is a lot of victory sort of energies. Um, the Six of Pentacles has a lot to do with generosity and sharing and being there for other people, and the Six of Wands represents a victory, and so kind of does the Nine of Pentacles. Um, the Nine of Pentacles has to do with, you know, a job well done and looking over and seeing the fruits of your labor. And the Six of Wands is very much a victory sort of feeling. And then with the Six of Pentacles, it's a lot of generosity. So this is a pretty positive month. Um, a lot of good energies here. So victory, job well done, and really just being there for other people is a lot of the feelings I'm getting from this. Okay, and then for uh, February, March, April, and I do believe is your birthday is in April, yes? I think it is. Um, so this is kind of a birthday month for you. And this is the Anna K deck, and we got the Knight of Cups, and he's kind of a Prince Charming. So he has to do with a love interest or um, a loving energy in your life. And then we have the Eight of Cups, and finally the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so seeing the Eight of Cups right next to the Knight of Cups, it's hard to see a little bit in this light. Maybe let me lighten this up just a little bit so you can see. Oh, that's really light. Okay, so the Eight of Cups has to do with walking away from a situation and moving on. And when I look at this, it kind of looks like someone who's upset about their union. So maybe it's someone who used to be with him or her or something like that. And now she's left, because I actually think this is a woman in the card. Um, she's left this situation. So maybe something's going on there. And having that connected to the Knight of Cups tells me that there's going to be possibly some issues with uh, a spouse of yours. You said you were married, yes, and the last time we talked, you said that you were with um, you were married, but with another partner. And that's something we kind of see here with the Two of Pentacles, which has to do with balancing and juggling things. And this is juggling a relationship. So I don't know if you're still with that other partner or if you're still with your husband. But uh, this is kind of talking about a juggling situation, with a juggling romantic situation and leaving something behind. So it's possible that either one of your relationships may be ending this month, or there may be problems with one of them. And that's just the energies we're getting right here. And then February, March, April, May. Okay, we have the Nine of Pentacles here. And we had the Nine of Pentacles early on right here. Okay, so we have that same sort of energy, looking over the fruits of your labor. And I also notice here that she's really looking to the future. So, and that might be connected with this situation. Um, she is very optimistically looking to newer opportunities. So that's something to think about. And then we have the Six of Chalices, which this card in this deck, this has a lot to do with children. And it's possible you may be around children this month frequently. It also has to do with a possible naivety, being a bit naive about situations, and having a childlike wonder about it, because children are, they're usually naive, and we all as adults go through periods of naivety, and and that's something that's might be going on here, either spending some time with children or possibly exuding some naive feelings. And then it ends with the Five of Pentacles, and that's interesting. The Five of Pentacles really has to do with being left out in the cold. So there might be some down on your luck uh, um, feelings here. Um, it might even also be a remnant from the previous month. If there was actually a breakup, this is indicating really thinking about those feelings, and that makes sense with the Six of Chalices as well, because the Six of Chalices also represents a looking into the past, nostalgia, thinking about the past. So, and this is kind of, it's not so much a hurt feelings. That would more be the Five of Cups, but this is kind of a um, feeling alone is kind of what I'm feeling from this. And that's kind of what we're getting here. So I think there's some positivity that's going on with work or another situation in your life. And then these two cards are kind of referencing this situation, whatever this is. Okay, June is the next one. All right, and this is from Crystal Visions. So we have the Four of Swords, which we're seeing again. I'm actually going to move these up just a little bit to give room. Okay, so Four of Cups, Eight of Cups, and we had that earlier, and the Empress. Okay, so the Four of Cups, Four of Swords. Did I say cups earlier? I meant to say swords. Four of Swords. The Four of Swords we had earlier, all the way back in February. We had the Four of Swords here. And you see the parallels between these. This is why I like to have so many different decks, because they all kind of mean the same thing, but each deck interprets the situations a little bit differently, so you kind of get a different feel of the situation. This really had to do a lot with boredom almost, just, chilling out sort of feelings. And then this one, like all the roses around her, to me, I think that's very indicative of a loving feeling. And all the red kind of makes me think of blood, and not quite a death, but maybe being wounded, and uh, and obviously, I think if the negative situation from 2 months earlier is still kind of impacting you, and it's a sort of wanting to retreat sort of feeling. And we see that too with the Eight of Cups, which we had earlier in the month that indicated a possible breakup or problem with the relationship. We have the Eight of Cups here. And see how she is walking away from this situation, and she also seems very hurt and upset, whereas this is much more serene. So this person has really risen and um, gotten out of the harsh situation and is moving on to something better. And she doesn't know what she's moving on to. When you see the moon here, the moon has a lot to do with mystery. And it also has to do with feminine energy. So this is really her taking on some female power and really being empowered by her own femininity, herself, really looking deep into herself and rising above this situation, moving on to something possibly better. And the Empress here, the Empress, I'm reminded that you earlier in a previous reading had asked about pregnancy as being a possibility at some point. And it could indicate a pregnancy. But that's more if I take it literally. What it could also mean is that your walking away from this situation to something better has led to something fruitful and prosperous. And um, so that's what the energy I'm getting here is. And then with the butterflies here, the butterflies represent rebirth. So, so she's kind of been reborn and moved on to something that's helping her grow as a person. But, you know, I don't want to discount the possibility of pregnancy because it could be possible. And I want to say it, get that out there just in case, but I also don't want to get your hopes up. So, um, that's pregnancy is a possibility, but I feel like this has a lot more to do with rising above and kind of being reborn and moving on. Okay. July. Um, we get the Ten of Swords, which is the end of a situation. Okay. And let's move these up a little bit more. And the Eight of Rods, which has to do with coming news, important information. So possibly some coming news for you. And Justice. Okay. So what I feel like with the Ten of Swords here, Ten of Swords has to do with a death of a situation and kind of moving on from it. And we see a lot of this moving on energy here. So we're still getting this. And the Ten of Swords means that whatever situation that had gone on in those previous months, it is over now. Whether it's over for good or, you know, it's over, and that's the energy that we're getting here. I don't know if that means, you know, if that was a breakup and the breakup's over, or if the argument or problem is over. So either one could really fit in this situation here. And the coming news and justice. Well, we could look at this from a legal perspective, and it could be something legal. And you know what? If I don't want to say this, and you know, one thing that kind of this makes me think of is justice, kind of the courts, news, maybe getting an affidavit, and then the death of a relationship. This could be the end of the marriage. But I don't want to say that because, you know, obviously the future is not set in stone. You can always change these events. You can always remedy whatever negative energies are coming your way. This is kind of a heads up on where the situation is leading. And divorce is kind of something that's popping into my head, but that may not necessarily be the case. It could be the death of the situation, like I said, with things being set right, and getting news. So I'm going to say that it's possible that there's some sort of divorce sort of energy or some sort of legal situation. But it could just mean that things are being set right for whatever that could mean. Things are being set right. You're getting news, the end of that situation. Okay, I'm going to put these up over here. So that was July. August, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Stars. Okay. This is a lot of motherly energies, especially with the Queen of Pentacles, and she has a companion here too. So and she's very happy. So I feel like everything's kind of starting to turn around here, and you've possibly come together with someone. And then with the Seven of Pentacles, I'm really looking at this, and she's really collecting the fruits of her labors here. But I also noticed that her eyes are closed. So I feel like this has to do with reward, getting a reward for hard work. Her eyes being closed, to me, it feels like she's just in the moment, like she's not overly thinking about it. She's just, her eyes, she's just feeling it. And that's sort of the energies that I'm getting from this, is just, it's a peacefulness and a feeling of getting some sort of reward, or your perseverance being paid off. That sort of energy is what I'm getting here. And then with the stars really, that has to do a lot with children, is something that really pops into my head a lot when it comes to the stars. Um, uh, it has a lot to do with hope as well, and renewal, and kind of being reborn, or just, the water of this pool really splashing over them, and uh, just the happiness in here, kind of just having a fresh start, a new beginning, that sort of feeling. So this month has a lot to do with that sort of feeling. Just a lot of positive energies here. We've had a rough couple months here. And of course, you can always change this. This is not set in stone. I don't believe in fate. And I will say that right off the bat. I don't believe that things are fated to happen. When I do future readings, what I'm doing is I'm connecting with your energy and the energies around you, and interpreting what is likely to be the course of events if things do not change. But you're also now aware of these energies, so you're always you are able to affect that and change it if you feel you need to. You can always go down a new path. But this month, after the tough months here, this month is really kind of a turnaround month. Things are feeling fresh and new. You're getting some sort of reward and feeling at ease and at peace, and experiencing the fruits of hard work. And it's possible that this could represent a romantic situation. Pentacles typically don't represent feelings or emotions, but there's something uh, stable about this, that and the fact that it's two people, it makes me feel like you're connecting with someone on this, in this month. Okay, so what month? August, September. We have the High Priestess. that's a good card. Eight of Swords and Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so the High Priestess has a lot to do with individuality and really being your own here. And, you know, I kind of think of this as, you know, I don't need anyone to make me happy. I can make myself happy. That sort of feeling, that empowered, very empowered. And I think you are starting to feel that way. You're starting to feel empowered. And the Eight of Swords has to do with being stuck in a situation and not being blindfolded so you can't see the way out. But there is a way out. And kind of being blind to something. But the Ace of Pentacles has to do with new opportunities and particularly a financial opportunity. So, from this month, we're getting a sense that there's something going on that's unseen, that you kind of feel stuck in, that there's a way out of it, but you're not opening your eyes to see it. But you're also feeling very empowered this month and very self-confident. And it makes me think of that this Empress here, along with what was it? The other card that really, oh, this one, the Eight of Cups, that really had to do with female power here, and just going to the unknown in a confident sort of way. And there's that same sort of confidence here, and you've really come um, to respect yourself in this situation here. And like I said, the Ace of Pentacles has to do with new opportunities, something new that came along, particularly financial. So, and it's a good Ace of Pentacles is a very prosperous card. Okay, so October, we have the Anna K Tarot here. Okay, we have the Knight of Swords right there. The Five of Swords. And the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so this has to do with an argument between two men. That's exactly what's going on right here. I almost can't even say anything else. Two knights, and right in between them is the Five of Swords, which has to do with fighting, competition, arguments, and this particular deck kind of interprets it as almost an oppression, and but I'm really like the two knights with the five in the middle of swords. That's it. This really has to do with two men arguing, two men not getting along, two men fighting. Um, that's really what we're seeing here. Two men arguing, fighting, competing, something like that. And that's October. And November. November, we have the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Three of Swords. Okay, so there's a couple ways we can interpret this. We could see this as these two men sort of gaining some maturity here. They've went from knights to kings, which that's certainly possible. Except this is a swords and pentacles. This is pentacles and wands. So it could be the two men kind of gaining some perspective and maturity. But there's also heartache here, and someone leaving, someone ending the situation. The Three of Swords has to do with heartbreak. That's I would call the Three of Swords generally the breakup card. Not necessarily saying that there's going to be a breakup, but there's going to be some sort of someone leaving the situation. And with the King of Wands here, the other way that I can interpret these two kings is that these two kings are both helpful guides. This king here is helping new neighbors. I think some sort of that seems to be what's going on. He's being informative. He's being a good guide, friendly. And here we have a teacher, a master, someone who's imparting wisdom on others. So this has a lot to do with teaching. To teaching energies, to guiding energies. So that's a possibility as well. And all right, so that was November. And finally, we have December. Ugh, look how messy this looks. Let me move these up. Okay, and we have the Hanged Man being stuck in a situation, bound by something, also seeing things from a new perspective. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. That's you again. We saw her earlier on. And finally, we have the Ace of Swords, which is being able to have focused communication. Okay. I'm going to interpret this Hanged Man as seeing things from a new perspective. And that's how you are able to have a more clear and honest communication. And that's what this Ace of Swords has a lot to do with. Really honest, focused, clear communication. And here we see those butterflies again, which, as I said, represent rebirth. And this is kind of starting a new open line of communication, and that's what the Ace of Swords means. And the Queen of Pentacles is very much you, and the Hangman, I see this as seeing things from a new perspective, and that's what we're getting here. Okay, so to recap, let's see. I want to see any repeat cards here. Got 4 different repeat energies here. Let me move these out of the way so you can see. Okay, so we've got the 8 of Cups that's moving on from a situation. The Queen of Pentacles is you. 9 of Pentacles had to do with I really saw these as talking about your work, talking about financial stuff. So that I see as going in a positive direction. So we had 2 of those. And we also had 2 4 of Swords, which had to do with resting energy. So that's really the repeat cards here are these 4. So I would say that these are going to be the main energies for you this year. Some restful energy, moving on from situations, from bad situations, and moving on to something better. Positive work, I would say, positive work going on. The Queen of Pentacles, this one seemed to deal with having to do with a connecting with someone. And there we go. And I hope this was helpful. I know some of these cards, the months were a little unnerving and possibly indicated the end of a relationship, maybe even divorce. But again, this is stuff that you may be able to prevent. I'm going to take away that the last card that we got in this whole spread was the Ace of Swords, which really had to do with keeping open communication and being honest and truthful. And I think that's something that would help uh, in a positive way is really just keeping open lines of communication here. Um, okay, so I really hope this is helpful. I really hope the spell energy, the positive energy, the incense is already blown out, gone out now. The candle is almost gone. I'll continue to let it burn. Um, that's bringing some success. The snowflake obsidian just really get some negativity away, taking negativity away. And I really hope this helps. And thank you so much. And blessed be.